and bearing in mind that it is the first time that Uganda is reaching that level, and they deserve this kind of tribute from the Parliament of Uganda. Honorable members, as the Parliament of Uganda, we want to commend His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and the First Lady, who is also the Minister of Education and Sports, for their consistent commitment in promoting sports as a component of our development plan. The President specifically pledged 1.2 billion shillings per win for the boys. And that message was delivered to the boys, and it's going to be fulfilled. I also want to thank you, the Parliament of Uganda, for always appropriating sufficient money to sports. Allow me also appreciate the Federation of Uganda Football Association of Uganda for their stewardship of the game. Because if they were not there, led by Honorable Magogo, Moses, MP of Buyende, Budiope East, yes, and Salongo. Because without them, you will not have the team. So, Engineer, thank you so much. And no, thank our family. And I also want to thank, in a special note, all Ugandans. Honorable Minister Ogwang, you did a very great job. We want to thank you. And we want to thank Ugandans for encouraging and morale boosting our boys. The boys out there, we are very proud of you. I can see Okello smiling. We are very proud of you. And as Parliament, we will continue supporting sports. And you're very good patriots. And pursuant to Rule 58 of the Rules of Procedure, I want to invite the Minister to move the motion. The Uganda Cranes. Maybe for your information, this is not the only team of Uganda Cranes. Uganda Cranes has a number of teams. This is just the Chan team. We have Semugabi Jude, who is a player. Please stand up and wave. Welcome. Torach Roger.
The African Nation Championship 2024, which Uganda proudly co-hosted alongside Kenya and Tanzania under the successful East African Pamoja bid, was not only a football tournament, but also a landmark achievement for our country across several dimensions. First and foremost, honorable colleagues and right honorable speaker, the Uganda Cranes delivered a historic sporting milestone by advancing to the quarterfinals for the very first time, which I want to ask all of us to clap for them.
This brings a challenge that the moment the Chan competition was finished and we went back to organizing other competitions, we went back to our usual organizations where we use particularly the Uganda Police to be able to provide security. And we have gone back to challenges where fans struggle to access the stadium. I want to use this opportunity to call upon the respective officers to ensure that we need the support for Ugandans to be able to access the stadium and to be able to go and reach home with their property without them being attacked on the way going back home.
They have now understood the type of football that Ugandans want. And that's exactly what they are doing. It's the reason why, right on speaker, fans are going to watch the Uganda Cranes, because they are playing the football that Ugandans want. I want in a special way to thank you, to recognize you, to appreciate you. If you were playing another type of football, I'm telling you, we would not be coming to the pitches.
As a fellow member of a sports fraternity, I want to send a special congratulations to the team. It is a great honor to put on your national jersey and represent your country. It is humbling, it is a privilege. Whether red, yellow, white, blue, green, you are there as a national. And all of us, as Ugandans, appreciate when Uganda succeeds. At least from my point of view, when Uganda is winning, we are winning. When Uganda is showcasing, we are showcasing. All of us.
Speaker, Madam Speaker, allow me also take this opportunity to congratulate our gallant sons, congratulate the organizing committee, both local and CHAN, to congratulate the managers. As you're aware, Madam Speaker, the support you've extended to us as Festoweb has enabled us get players out of the country. They are now in various clubs, and I know the contacts have already been received by our technical teams, and this will be a very big boost.
The rest of the colleagues in paying tribute to the Uganda Crane for the outstanding performance. And Right Honourable Speaker, I used to think that football is for the huge, tall, and giant. But when I saw Uganda Cranes play, I appreciated the people who scouted the talents of these handsome boys that have managed to hold the Uganda flag high.
Right, I want to conclude by raising an issue that these players come from clubs. When we invite them to the national team, where they have grown up, where they have been identified, where they live every day, is within the football clubs in the country. Today, as we speak, club football in Uganda does not have the financial resource required to ensure that these players are fed well, are trained well, sleep well, and get motivated well. What happens is that the countries we compete with on the African continent, this competition like Algeria, Ethiopia, and others, their respective governments are directly funding and supporting these clubs for them to be able to finance and fund these boys so that by the time they come to the competition, they are ready to compete on a leveled ground. We lost some of our key players who would have been part of this team just before the competition because they had to join leagues outside Uganda for them to make a living. And they were joining leagues. For example, Denso Medi went to Rwanda. Denso Ssenyonyi also went to Rwanda because the clubs there, supported by the state, are paying much higher than the Ugandan clubs. It is therefore important that before we see these players in the senior national team, and we call them our boys, and we ask where they are sleeping, and we make them ours, we should understand that there is work which is supposed to be done in the clubs, and these clubs are being run by private sector people using their personal resources, many of them, and indeed as a country, if we are to go and compete and qualify even to bigger competitions, we need to support the sector, just like all other private sector players are being supported by government as part of the socio-economic transformation.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, and to appreciate Honourable Nambeshe for holding fort, and also join colleagues in congratulating the Uganda Cranes on the stellar performance we have seen thus far. They've been putting up very good shows. Also to thank the people of Uganda for showing up in droves each time the Cranes have got a match. It's an incredible thing. We meet there, all forms of colors, all tribes, and so on. Sports is an interesting thing. It unites us. You know, at that point, I forget that Major Ramirama here is my political opponent, and we get to support and vouch for the Uganda Cranes. Hopefully, we get to do that continuously. Honourable Speaker, we often make a case for the growth, development of sports infrastructure. We want to remind government to do this a lot more. It is important that our young people who are talented get to have a platform, get to have space to grow these talents. That's why we always emphasize these issues. Let's develop infrastructure for sports. That's the only way we shall get to have stars. Across, by the way, whether it be in soccer, sometimes we overemphasize soccer, and that's okay because people love it, but there's other sports disciplines too. Athletics, boxing, basketball, netball, etc., etc. We need to look at an all-round kind of situation regarding sports. I saw the promise that was made to the Uganda Cranes that each win they will get 1.2 billion
It is
shillings.
not a promise, it is now reality.
That's a good thing.
Yes.
I'm glad it has been fulfilled. I hope it has. Because for a very long time, these sports personalities...
Honorable Ssenyonyi, you're hearing from the head of legislature.
And I am appreciative.
That it has been fulfilled.
That's a good thing. Because in the past, people would be promised, and then you see them coming to the media. There's a time in Zikuru 1, and they promised her a house. Every year she would be coming to the media saying, my house has not come yet. So it's important that when we promise, we fulfill. Finally, Right Honorable Speaker, can we buttress the lives of these stars, not just at the time they are playing? So it's good they get to be promised when you win 1.2 billion shillings. But can we take care of their welfare even away from that? Because it's a process. By the time they get to where they are to play and win, it's been an entire process. Let's support them through the process and not wait for the final time when they have matches and then they're under pressure. We have got 1.2 billion shillings to win. But previously, you find they probably were struggling to go training because of numerous issues, yeah? So let's support all of that.
Thank you.
And the sports minister should be happy I'm saying these things, because many times he comes here, makes a case, and says, give me more money. And then Parliament will give him some, and not all. So let's avail to them what they require, and then we hold them accountable. That's very important. The stadia that are being built want accountability, so that this money is put to very good use. Very finally, Right Honorable Speaker, I saw something that perplexed me. It's good the Minister of Sports is here, he will respond to this. The standards. Because sports, like all other sports disciplines, soccer, there are standards. We were dumbfounded when we saw on the news the hotel facility at which the Uganda Cranes were staying, somewhere in Kisasi. The road to the hotel, not very accessible. I'm told the bus would stop somewhere, then they alight to access the hotel. Our opponents were staying at good 5-star hotels. I think we can afford for our stars to stay at good facilities. If we can afford to give them 1.2 billion shillings per win, then we can afford to put them in a good place where they are safe. But if they have to jump out of the bus to access, the place where they are staying, that speaks of insecurity, it speaks of discomfort. Can we address these very critical concerns, Honorable Minister? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Minister. And the ones who were staying at a 5-star hotel, did they reach where we reached?
Madam Speaker, first of all, let me begin by congratulating the Leader of Opposition for the questions and the pertinent issues he has raised. To begin with the latter, all teams which were competing during the CHAN tournament were taken care of by the Confederation of African Football, including Team Uganda. I want to repeat in affirmative. As a country, there were certain items which CAF agreed to take care of them. Number one was the accommodation, transportation of teams in the countries of the competition and exiting the country of the competition. So for the hotel which the team was staying, that hotel was certified by CAF. Let me also go on record on that, because it is them who are the owners of the competition. Secondly, as country Uganda, we did facilitate the team for preparation of the competition. But when it came for time for the competition, CAF took over not only Uganda, but South Africa, Niger, Guinea, and Algeria. I hope I've answered that question.
Now, the other additional infrastructure, for instance, the roads. As of now, if some of you have observed, we are already beginning to prepare for AFCON 2027. For purposes of roads in areas where, in our considered opinion, are prime for this particular competition, those are the roads which government is going to work on. And that particular road, I want to say, it is in the
Cases here. Switch on.
It's one of the roads which is in the Kampala Capital City Authority Management. And I don't know, right, Honorable Speaker, it might even be in the constituency of Honorable Leader of Opposition. It is Kawempe. However, I also want to interest us, let us look at the master plan under the Kampala Metropolitan Development Roads structure. It is there, those roads are there. The other issue which I again want to mention here is the question of welfare of the former national players. Right, Honorable Speaker, we have the law here under the National Sports Act. I want to interest Parliament that this law gives us Minister of Education and Sports, Minister of Finance, to see what incentives we can do. When we were looking at that law, we were looking at, for instance now, the superstars before us here. The very law can give us, if you give me money, I can be able to give them beyond what they have received. That's already taken care of. The other one which I want to thank Honorable Baba and actually Lope. When we talk about facilities, the current regime of the infrastructure we're doing is for multi-sport. It's not only football. When I build a stadium like now Nambole, I want to redevelop Nambole to include other additional facilities, including indoor games. I want to develop Lugogo to have indoor games. I want to Hoima, as I speak now, as a provision for an indoor games, which talk about all indoor games. Akiba Olympic Stadium has provision for all indoor games. Why are we doing this? It's for purpose of talent identification and development as a country. So colleagues, we are on course. Now, are we going to continue working on this infrastructure?
Thank you. Yes, Minister.
It's part of the plan of the NRM government to provide these state-of-the-art stadiums in all regions of Uganda.
Thank you.
I thank you so much.
Honorable Minister, you're done? Okay. Prime Minister.
I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I first apologize for coming in. At this time, I was in Munyonyo, where we have a ministerial regional meeting concerning higher education. I was in charge of chairing and chairing it. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to congratulate the Uganda Cranes for participating and reaching that level whereby they made us proud that they reached the quarterfinals. We thank you so much, and we are proud of you. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the Uganda Railways, that is Ministry of Works, for providing the line that was taking these people from town to Nambole. They made it easy for them, and at least there was the congestion was not so much. Right Honorable Speaker, the government is supported. The government is committed to supporting the sports, and it has been evident that in every budget that we come up with, the sports program or the sports have been given the money. We've given the money to them as Parliament and as government. I want to thank His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, for fulfilling the pledge of 1.2 billion for each win. And I know His Excellency, the President, this evening is still inviting these people for a get-together, and he's showing the youngsters that we are proud of you and is in full support of such, of the sports. Right Honorable Speaker, government is building more stadiums in the country. We have Lira, we have Hoima, and others that are coming up. We know all that is support from government. Lastly, Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank you, together with the Parliament of Uganda, for providing the jersey for this team, which were laid here in the House. This is, you led it, and many people are proud of you, because as a woman, you've shown what sports is in the country. So by laying these jerseys here and by talking to the Parliament to contribute to that, it was a sign of support, and we know that young team is also proud of our speaker. I want to thank you so much for God and my country. We are still looking forward to see you doing more and more and reaching even the finals. I thank you.
Thank you, honorable members. Upon the successful accomplishment of CHAN, and remember CHAN is a precursor to AFCON, as an institution responsible for accountability, appropriation, and oversight. We will ask the Auditor General to give us a special audit on how much we have spent on CHAN for us to be able to plan better for AFCON. And we want this report in the House by 30th of October. This will help this institution for us to know how much we spent and how much we should spend more. I now put a question that this House pays a glowing tribute to the Uganda national football team, the Uganda Cranes, for their